Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where we look at the science and data shaping our world. We live in an era of unprecedented human movement. People move for opportunity, for safety, for a better life. But how do we actually see these massive, complex patterns? For decades, we relied on census data, which is powerful, but often slow and quickly outdated. What if we had an unseen vantage point, an eye in the sky that could chart the course of human migration in near real time? Well, we do. Today, we're talking about how satellites are completely changing our understanding of a world on the move. This isn't science fiction. This is geospatial demography. The science of gathering information from a distance, called remote sensing, has been around since the 60s, but recent explosions in satellite technology and big data have unlocked its true power. We now have a continuous stream of high-resolution images, giving us a dynamic, detailed view of our planet. This is especially vital for studying migration in areas that are remote, dangerous, or otherwise impossible for researchers to access on the ground. One of the most direct applications is monitoring refugee camps. Organizations like the European Space Agency use satellites to see how these camps grow or shrink. By analyzing the number and size of shelters from space, aid organizations can estimate how many people need critical resources like food, water, and medicine. This isn't just a count. It's a lifeline that helps plan effective humanitarian aid, especially when a crisis erupts suddenly. For instance, back in 2008, when conflict broke out in Chad, satellite images were crucial in estimating how many people were fleeing across the border into Cameroon, helping to guide the response. But what if there isn't a neat camp to look at? One of the most elegant tools in the demographer's toolkit is something you might see every night: light. Satellites equipped with special sensors, like the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, or VIS, can measure the glow of our cities, towns, and even small villages at night. Changes in the intensity of these nighttime lights are a surprisingly accurate proxy for population shifts and economic activity. A study in the European Union found that this light data could predict migration even better than traditional economic numbers like GDP. An area getting brighter? That might suggest people are moving in and development is happening. An area dimming? That could signal people are leaving or an economic downturn. The story these lights tell can be stark. In the first week of the 2022 conflict in Ukraine, satellites observed a dramatic 50% reduction in nighttime light across the country, a chilling, visual confirmation of the scale of displacement. Of course, it's not just about light. A whole suite of satellite data helps build a more complete picture. High-resolution photos allow researchers to literally count the houses and see changes in infrastructure. This has been used in places like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which has outdated census data, to create much more accurate population estimates by combining building footprint data from space with household surveys. Satellites also track how land is used. When they see agricultural land being converted into urban sprawl, it's a clear sign of population growth, often driven by migration. Radar and LiDAR technologies add another layer, acting like a superpower that can see through clouds and even at night, providing an uninterrupted stream of data to spot new, unplanned settlements that might signal displacement from conflict or a natural disaster. Now you might be thinking, this is an incredible amount of data. How could anyone possibly analyze it all? You'd be right. Sifting through this deluge of imagery manually is an impossible task. This is where artificial intelligence and machine learning come in. We can train algorithms to automatically identify features like buildings, roads, or farms with incredible speed and accuracy. Deep learning models, particularly those designed for image analysis, can now estimate population density just by looking at a satellite photo. AI isn't replacing human experts. It's enhancing their ability to see the patterns, identify infrastructure damage after a disaster, and understand the complex drivers of migration. And this is having a real-world impact. During the Syria crisis, satellite imagery helped track the growth of refugee camps, giving humanitarian groups vital information. In Africa, researchers combine satellite data on rainfall and vegetation with demographic info to understand how climate change is pushing people to move. After the devastating 2004 tsunami in Indonesia, satellites were used to assess the destruction and then monitor the long process of rebuilding and resettlement. Now, it's important to address a common misconception and some very real ethical concerns. Satellites are not tracking the movement of individual people in real time like in a spy movie. They provide snapshots of areas over time. The use of this kind of technology also raises serious questions about privacy and the potential for misuse. It's crucial that this work is guided by strong ethical principles that protect vulnerable populations and ensure the people being observed have a say in how data about their communities is used. So, what's next? The future of geospatial demography is incredibly bright and very high resolution. New constellations of satellites in low Earth orbit will give us an even more detailed, near real-time view of our planet. The real power will come from integrating this satellite data with other sources, like anonymized mobile phone data and social media analytics, to paint an even richer picture of human mobility. As we face the challenges of the 21st century, from climate-induced displacement to rapid urbanization, understanding how and why people move is more important than ever. By harnessing the view from above, responsibly and ethically, we can gain the insights needed to anticipate and respond to the needs of a world on the move, building a more informed and resilient future for everyone. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.